Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Niagara University. It's a great day to be here on campus. And I was talking with Mark Laurie, and we were saying, not a bad day for the middle of February in Western New York either. You're not banging the slush off your shoes. So it's great to be here for this great announcement. And our partners in the room, welcome to the Castellani Art Museum on our campus. My name is Tom Burns. I'm the Associate Vice President for PR, Communications, and Marketing here at the university. I figured I would start us off today. It is, of course, Valentine's Day, right? You see a bunch of red sprinkled in with the purple here on campus. That's how we do it. Did you know, I know you know, St. Valentine is the patron saint of love and lovers. Also the patron saint of engaged couples and happy marriages. Greetings. Here's some new ones for you. St. Valentine is the patron saint of beekeepers. Bet you didn't know that. Also the patron saint of epilepsy and fainting. So interesting. Plague and travelers, but most importantly for today, St. Valentine is the patron saint of young people. And that, I know, nice, isn't it? That just works out that way sometimes. And that is why we're here today, for the young people. And that's what you'll hear about from our speakers today. The first person we're going to hear from today is a young person, my buddy, my new friend, Mia Sturdivant. Come on up, Mia. Mia has a few words to say for us.
Say a little louder. Thank the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation. Okay.
That's Mia Sturdivant, and she's here. She said she wanted to thank the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation, as we all do today. Our children here also have a job, so they're going to serve as escorts for our guest speakers when they come up. And our first speaker gives me great pleasure. Mia is going to bring up this gentleman. He's the 26th president of Niagara University, the Reverend James J. Marr, CM. Come on, bring him up, Mia.
Good afternoon and welcome to Niagara University. This is a great day for families and children of Western New York. I offer a special thanks to the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation. President and CEO David Enger is here. Vice President of Programs, Amber Slicka, Director of Programs and Strategy, Maura Dewan. I also offer a special word of thanks to a person who really planted the seeds for this and was a passionate supporter of early childhood education. And that is my predecessor, Father Joseph Levesque, the President Emeritus of Niagara University. Thank you, Joe, for your wonderful work. We carry the baton forward that you handed to us. I also thank in a special way our trustee, Ken Franasiak, who is here and a wonderful supporter in the local community. Welcome, Ken. Tom Burns before was giving us sort of the litany of St. Valentine. And today we celebrate another saint as well, and it's the sponsoring group and the inspiration of the Vincentian community, St. Vincent de Paul, who is and was widely known as a patron saint of people who work in the field of social work. St. Vincent built a vast network of social support, of organizing people, and of services for the most vulnerable of 17th century France. One of the images that you'll see of him, iconic, is of St. Vincent holding a young child. For he and St. Louise de Marillac, his partner, established the Work for the Foundlings, solely focused on the development of children, a work that continues in vibrancy today. We believe this early childhood work and service for children and families is at the heart of our Vincentian work and mission. It's my personal conviction that there are multiple reasons and causes of poverty in our community. And effective solutions to lift people out of poverty, combine and integrate a number of interventions for children and families. Today, we celebrate one of the most critical interventions, early childhood education and support. And we see it as a priority for our university to contribute to the community in partnership with many people who are here today. We look forward to those partnerships and our work with the Wilson Foundation, the Help Me Grow Foundation of Western New York and Central New York, and so many others who work to create a lasting future for our children and families. May God bless this work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Father, for your words and your leadership here on campus. Our next young child is Deja Johnson. Deja, you ready to bring up your guest? And that guest is the president and CEO of the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Egner.
So I'm a little more frightened than Deja. Deja, thank you. You did a great job. You did great. Everybody's clapping for you. You did terrific. It's a real pleasure to be here. Father, thank you for your words of opening. We had some time together before the press conference to talk, and I learned more about Niagara University and my early career in philanthropy. I came across the phrase, the application of knowledge toward the problems of people. Research is terrific, not applied is useless. And I think as I hear more about Niagara University, you truly are applying knowledge to make a difference in the lives of people. So I thank you for your work and the great partnership with Help Me Grow. And we're delighted that we're making the grant to Niagara University on behalf of the Help Me Grow Collaborative, who's doing so much here in Western New York. So the foundation itself, only 2 years old, trying to spend the resources that Mr. Wilson left us in less than 20 years. And it's an interesting balance of opportunity and building strategy. So you start by trying to find shovel-ready, quality programs that are making a difference. And certainly Help Me Grow is that. And it came to our attention very quickly. It's a collaboration. And when you look at collaborations, they sound great. How many of you have really gone out and sought foundation grants? And how many of you heard the notion that you had to collaborate? I think foundations are misguided in how they talk about collaboration. The definition of collaboration that I grew up with was collaboration as an unnatural act among non-consenting adults. And I see that play out every day. So when you have one that works, where people truly are together, marching the same direction, able to deal with problems and issues along the way, it's something very special. And Help Me Grow is certainly that, and we're delighted that we can support it at the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation. I would be remiss if I didn't bring two people to your attention. One, Amber Slitka, who Father mentioned earlier. Amber, if you could stand, please. They rolled me out of the closet to speak, but the reality is the real architect of our support of Help Me Grow is Amber Slitka, who many of you know, and she did a great job of bringing it to our attention and having our trustees become very excited very quickly about the potential of growing the program. And Joe Cazot, where are you, Joe? There's Joe, the chairman of the Health Foundation of Western and Central New York. Without the early work of the Health Foundation, I'm not sure Help Me Grow would be where it is today. So Joe, thank you, and all the staff at the Health Foundation. So the real reason I'm on the podium, other than being brought out of the closet by Amber and having to have Deja bring me to the stage, which was the highlight of my day, is to announce a grant from the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation to grow Help Me Grow, not only in Niagara and Erie counties, but the 7 counties of Western New York. If we can get early childhood right, think of the money we save on the other end. It's the most important part of the continuum. So if early childhood works, Reading works, education works. We don't need a corrections system at the level it's functioning at. We don't need the systems in place in social welfare that we have. Early childhood is the first step in that chain, the first link in that chain that makes a difference. So we're delighted to announce that we're going to fund Help Me Grow's expansion to the tune of just under $1.8 million to all 7 counties of Western New York. It's a privilege for the foundation to be a part of this program, and I couldn't be more pleased to have been here to announce that. But again, Deja, the most important part of my day was you walking me up here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. Great to have you today. You've probably heard this before, but they say if you want to touch the past, you touch a rock. If you want to touch the present, you touch a rose, which I'm sure many of you will see today. And if you want to touch the future, touch the life of a child. And the Wilson Foundation, Ralph C. Wilson Foundation, has done that. Thank you very much for your work. It is our pleasure now to introduce another one of our community partners in education, a great gentleman who we are very close to and is tied to our area here in Niagara Falls. Will be escorted by Emilio Nix. Emilio, you ready to bring up? Mark Laurie, the Niagara Falls School District Superintendent.
You did a good. You're going to have to come back and get me. Emilio had asked to say a few words, but he is really enjoyable. He is okay. I want to just make a few comments, and it was been such a enjoyment in meeting the folks from the Ralph Wilson Foundation. We talked about collaboration, partnerships, this institution. It doesn't mean anything. You can have all kinds of collaborations and partnerships. It doesn't mean anything unless you have the right people behind those collaborations and partnerships. And in terms of the Ralph Wilson Foundation, you made a very wise choice because the right people are part of Niagara University and Help Me Grow. And I, on behalf of those organizations and the children, I would like to extend my thanks as the superintendent of the school district, the beneficiary, the real beneficiary of the work that they're going to do and the partnership and collaboration that they have to the Ralph Wilson Foundation and for what you've done for the organization. Help Me Grow has those same people. I've had a chance to meet and spend some time with that group, and I'm extremely impressed and glad that they'll be a partner with us as well. So we like to think in the school district that a better beginning will make a stronger completion. When you have a better beginning, you're going to have a strong finish. And it is my desire, my direction, my hope that we continue to grow younger and younger programs in schools. We have just begun a partnership where we have 2 groups of 3-year-olds in our public school. It's my mission to put 3-year-old classes in every school in Niagara Falls because I passionately believe that that is the way we'll break the cycle of poverty that Father Mahar mentioned earlier. And to be part of a collaboration with such fine people is even a greater step to making that happen on a more expeditious path. So I just say congratulations to Niagara University, Help Me Grow, and to the Ralph Wilson Foundation. You've invested in the right people, and things will happen to have better beginnings, make stronger completions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mark. I don't know if it's appropriate with the Ralph C. Wilson Foundation here to call an audible, but I'm going to call an audible. Amelia, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to escort one other person here, Emilio. Over here. Mr. Joe Kozo, who was mentioned earlier, who was really one of the key people in starting this work here. Mr. Kozo, if Emilio is going to bring you up here to the podium.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon on a lot of levels for me, not the least of which is that this is my alma mater. Go Purple Eagles. But as Father Mahar said, I can't think of any other academic pursuit that I had beyond Niagara or any vocational pursuit that I've had the pleasure of occupying, where St. Vincent de Paul and the heart of the Vincentians haven't been with me, and the spirit of this school hasn't permeated me well into my elder years. So Niagara has a fondness for me. The second reason I'm very happy to be here is that in my day job, I work with a great group of people who have preschools. We're the largest preschool center for children with handicapping conditions. And so we primarily see children who are on the autism spectrum and children who have social, emotional, and behavioral disturbances. And I'm very, very passionate about making sure that we can identify children early and get them the help they need so that they have an opportunity to live healthy, productive lives. And the third reason that I'm very happy to be here today is in my role with the Health Foundation of Western and Central New York. I've had the pleasure of serving on that board for the past 8 years, currently chair of this great group of men and women. And one of the things that we look for in our foundation are ways that we can impact children who are born into poverty. And it became very clear to us back in 2008 when some of the studies were coming out about brain development of young children. We were looking at some new research on one side. We were looking at schools that were not graduating children. We were having in the Buffalo area a predominance of our fourth graders who could not read. Several terrible things were happening to children, and we knew that new research was telling us it did not have to be this way. But we had to get to them early. We had to identify them, we had to get them proper intervention, and we had to support those children and their families. So it was in 2008 where we first, as a foundation, were brought this idea of Help Me Grow. And quite frankly, the board was very enthusiastic about it. We felt that it could make a great penetration into the community, helping children live more successfully as they progressed in their academic careers. And that grant went for 3 years, nowhere. And I have to say, as Dave was talking, I have to, at this point, mention Amber Schlitka, because I call her the guardian angel of Help Me Grow. Because she came back to the board with a pretty much dead-on-arrival grant and asked us for more money. Now, that takes either craziness or great vision, and I like to think it's the latter, that she had great vision. But she did something differently at that point. She brought a whole nother group of partners in. And for the first time, the board was saying, we love this program, we need this program, and we see now that we have some partners who can provide direction, alignment, and commitment. If we can just execute it the way you have said you're going to execute it, we are going to do great things. So she brought in Niagara University, who I was saying to Patty before, I credit that moment in our grant history with not only resuscitating that grant, but really bringing it forward to the vision that we as a board of trustees had committed to now twice. And then the third iteration of this, when Amber came back for another grant, another try at it, she brought together now this really great group of community partners. So when we talk about collaboration, and I agree with Dave, I think foundations, we've beaten you over the head for years with collaboration, and now we're just starting to know what it really means. It's putting together the right people at the right time, having them leave their egos at the door and come together for that greater good, which in this case is making a difference for early education in our community. So I want to start backwards, and I want to thank Amber, once again, Amber, our guardian angel. I want to thank Niagara University, because for me, you were the pivotal player in this second iteration. So to everybody here at Niagara University, proud alumni. I want to thank Lynn Polano and all of the community organizations that got together and said, look it, we have to do this. It's for the good of our future. So thank you, Lynn, and thank you to all of our collaborators. A round of applause for you, please. And lastly, to the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation. There's an adage that says you put your money where your mouth is. And I think that in your 2 short years, you've established that you are willing to put your money where your mouth is. And you're here today with a group of passionate people thinking about how we can impact the future lives of our beautiful young children. And what you've done today with this grant to Niagara University, I think will speak very, very fertily to what we will see 15 years, 18 years from now. So, Dave, Foundation, thank you so much on behalf of Western New York and on behalf of the work that was begun by the Health Foundation of Western and Central New York. Thank you so much. So please, a round of applause for the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation. I know that with this group of committed people and the support that you've been given, we will make a difference in our community. So I couldn't be happier to hear this announcement. I couldn't be happier for the small part the Health Foundation played in this, and I welcome all of you to let's get together and change the world for our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, for your words, and recognize some of the community partners who are here with us today. I wish I could mention everybody, but just a couple notables, of course. Russ Eckert and Jeff Dan, who are here, great supporters of the University of the area as well. Also want to thank the members of the United Way from Niagara County, Connie Brown, and Erie County, Michael Weiner, who are with us today. And also want to thank David Rust from Say Yes for being here. Great to have you, partners in education and partners in lifting our community higher. One of the partners is the supervisor of the Family Help Center Daycare, and that's Ashley Kowalik, and Asaya Miller is going to bring Ashley forward.
Thank you, Asaya. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ashley Kowalik, and I am the site coordinator and social worker of the Children's Center for Success located at the Family Help Center in Dingens. And we serve some of the most at-risk children and families in Erie County. We also specialize in working with children with extremely challenging behaviors. We improve the lives of children and families by providing specialized services for our teachers, for caregivers, and parents. We partnered with Help Me Grow last fall, and we actively use the core components of the program to enhance our own program at the Family Help Center. Building relationships with both our teachers, children, and parents is one of our key components of the program. And Help Me Grow has really helped us make the connections between teacher and home. We monitor children's development and identify any needs that a child may have. We are able to take the information and apply it into the child's classroom and at home. Each teacher is given resources to add into the lesson plans and really individualize lesson plans for each child. Our family advocate, who is fantastic, she visits the home and she facilitates conversations with parents about those developmental milestones and has conversations with them if there's any needs and help them address the needs. Parents also, you'll hear from one of our great parents, parents are also given learning activities to do at home, and we really have been able to see the benefits in the classroom with the parents doing some of the activities that are given to us. In order to give children the best outcomes they need to succeed in their development, we need to be able to detect and support any early development and behavior concerns. And we really believe that children and families are better served because of our partnership with Help Me Grow. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, for the work you do and for being with us today. Our next speaker is a parent, and really somebody feels the impact of Help Me Grow. And our escort is Bryson Fuller. Bryson, you ready? And Bryson's going to escort Tara Monaco up to the podium, we think. Bryson, they're clapping for you. And Tara is a parent of a student at Family Help Center Daycare in Buffalo. Turn around for a picture, bud. Take a picture.
My name is Tara, and my daughter Gia, who is 19 months old now, has been at the daycare since she was 3 months old. This past year, I began receiving the Ages and Stages questionnaire, and it really has helped me pay attention to details that I typically do not pay attention to. I remember with the first questionnaire, there was a question of whether or not she can draw when you put a crayon in her hand. And I'm embarrassed to say that I actually never sat down and did that activity with her. I feel that the ASQ has helped me get to know Gia from a much more different, almost analytical perspective. And I do spend a lot of time with her and observing her, but I didn't realize how important it was to focus on these milestones and have the support to help her achieve them. After each ASQ, I'm given information on how she rates and what activities I can do at home. At the parent-teacher conference, her progress was also detailed to me. When I identify something that I would like her to work on, the staff is aware and they help her get to where she needs to be. My son Kingston has been at the daycare for 4 years. He's 8. When he first started in daycare, he was about the same age as Gia is now at a different center. And I did not have any communication with that daycare staff in regards to his milestones and his development. My son displayed many alarming behaviors in the early years, and I do wish that I would have had some support in regards to his development. I also think that if I had the tools, like the ASQ and the support from the staff, that I would have spent more time observing my son from that analytical perspective. At that time, I was in denial that my son had any major behavior issues, and I often dismissed professionals who would tell me otherwise. If I was able to see his behavior hindering his milestone progress, which it was, I would have sought professional help much earlier than when I did. I often hear parents make statements such as, they can't do that yet, they're just babies. And I feel like what we forget is that these babies are rapidly learning and growing, and none of it should be taken for granted. The earlier we start, the smarter they will be. Thank you.
Thank you, Tara, for being with us today. It just goes to show you that we're all learning as we go through this, and it's a process, and it's great that these programs are there for the students, but for the parents as well, to help them along the way, because I have 3 kids, and I know it's not easy. Trust me, I'll tell you stories afterwards. Our last speaker today is really why we're here, Help Me Grow. It is my pleasure to introduce Lynn Polano, the director of Help Me Grow. Lynn?
Actually, I want to say that why we are here is really because of so many of you who I see standing around this room who never gave up on that idea that Help Me Grow is very important to our community. So I know that some of you have been recognized, but can I do something a little off script? Is that okay? Since I don't have a child, I guess I have to do that, right? So if I could just have anybody in the room who has somehow helped Help Me Grow on its way or is part of Help Me Grow now, if you could either stand if you're sitting or raise your hand and give us a wave from the back, and everybody sort of look around and see how many people that is. Don't be shy. Come on, stand. And many others who are in the back as well, and many who are shy and not rising. So thank you. And that's, I stand here in front of the power of Niagara, and I'm just struck by the power of partnership. So I really want to thank everyone from the bottom of my heart for that. We've heard a lot about making America great lately. I promise I'm not a politician and I'm not going to go there. But the fact is that America can only really be made great if we make our children great. And that reality is something I think most people in this room know. And we make our children great by nurturing the unique potential that each one of them has. So we have to understand each child. And that's the goal of Help Me Grow, to understand each child and to make sure that the family has the supports they need to understand their children in a way that only a family can do, because the power of the family is also critical to any child's development. And for us, this means all of those wonderful 99,000 children under the age of 6 in Western New York, including and starting with the 73,000 children in very young children in Erie and Niagara counties, and then extending our reach with this wonderful support and partnership. And that's what the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation's gift means to us. Child by child, all of those nearly 100,000 children will benefit from this. And it's really very encouraging. And not only our children here, but one thing that we haven't mentioned today yet is that Help Me Grow Western New York is actually the New York State affiliate for Help Me Grow, which means that what we do here in our community is actually being watched by the entire state. And the entire state is looking to us as an example of how to nurture and develop our children. So we know that not only do we have the power of Niagara and the power of partnership, but we have the power of Western New York, right? And we know that we can do almost anything except maybe a Super Bowl or two. But, but you never know, right? So we do this actually, a lot of people say, what really is the goal of Help Me Grow? And how do you do what you do? So the goal of Help Me Grow Western New York is actually very specific. It's to improve the age-appropriate developmental skills of young children by 25% within the next 3 to 5 years. And that's a pretty big goal, but as you know, we have a lot of great partners at the table. So they help us provide information on child development, and they help us provide free access to families and caregivers for checking on developmental milestones. We have linkage to our wonderful, wonderful community resources that are already available in our community, but many people don't know about or can't tap into because of access issues. And then we provide something really special, which is the ongoing personal follow-up to sort of work with a family, hold their hand along the way so that they never feel lost along the way. Because, as Tom said, growing children is not easy. Being a parent is not an easy thing. So we really want to support that and make that as easy for parents as we can. And we do this by using a national proven model that changes the way systems work. So when we say we have partners across many systems: the education system, the philanthropic community, the healthcare system, community-based agencies. We have local, state, and federal governments that Help Me Grow is working with to make these changes here. And so all of this is coming together to work for our most important assets in our community, which is, as we all know, our children. And so we're really starting to set the stage for success for our children as we have this initiative. We want our children to be ready to succeed, ready to learn by school entry. But the fact of the matter is, our children are born ready to learn. We just have to take away the barriers and any kind of access issues to get them those supports that they need. And we have to support the families, because that's the real goal of Help Me Grow, is to create bridges to success and well-being for our children, our community, and our state, and as Joe said, and the world. And that's how we make things great. Thank you.